I just finished decorating for Halloween and fall. I'm really gonna miss those long, sunny summer days and especially my garden. But there's something about the quality of light in fall that just casts everything in this moody jewel tone. And it's like the time when the world just explodes in beauty before everything goes to sleep for the winter. I think that's partly why we're all drawn to it, just the display of color and mood. Halloween is when we can really let our freak flag fly. Just go with your own vibe, whether it's witchy or piratey or gooey and bloody and gory or kitschy and campy. Let your imagination go, and hopefully I can help you to be inspired to use some of those vintage finds in your own decor. And I thought if you love vintage the same that I do, sometimes it might seem like I bought all this stuff, I thrifted it, I got some great deals, I love it, but now what do I do with it? So I wanted to share with you a couple of tablescapes that I created using thrifted finds that you could be on the lookout for, similar items, and maybe create this vibe for yourself. I tried to steer clear of a ton of pumpkins, even though who doesn't love pumpkins? These are a little bit different. For my first tablescape, I wanted to focus on apples as being part of the fall harvest. They're overlooked for pumpkins and they have great colors. So I drew inspiration from the apples with the red and the green, and I used items that you can find pretty easily in your thrift store. Milk glass, these candle holders were nice because you could actually put some floral around them if you wanted to. Candles you can usually get very cheap at thrift stores. I think I paid 25 cents a piece. Then this woven table runner had an 80s, 90s kind of vibe to it. It was real nice and I felt warm and cozy looking. Shout out to our local orchard where I got these apples from. And I was lucky enough to thrift this Italian pottery fruit bowl. I love Italian pottery. These look like chips, but they're actually glazing points. Normally they're on the back. I'm not sure why they're on the front of this. But look for some kind of a console dish or a bowl that you can use as a centerpiece if you like to recreate this. And you'll see here it's cozy and comfy and a little bit moody without using the traditional fall color scheme. And when the candles are lit, the light bounces off of the milk glass and the apples and the dish, and it's a nice contrast to that chunky woven knit. And table covers, tablecloths, table runners are generally inexpensive when you go thrifting. I think my Goodwill, they're like $3.50 maybe. So this is just a little bit of a different idea to keep in mind. Maybe some of those like deeper burgundies and greens and blues with a little milk glass added in for contrast. It's still warm and inviting, but it's just not a traditional fall color scheme. I created a little bit of a bar tray for my second tablescape, and I'm using some readily available things here too, those same candles, some amber shot glasses, this really beautiful antique crocheted tablecloth, some brass candlesticks. You can find brass candlesticks in all shapes and sizes at the thrift store. This orange vase is my centerpiece. I'm going to use it to hold a little bottle of something from a local distillery. People can have a little sip, keep them warm. And I have a little crocheted blanket that I threw on one of the chairs just in case people get chilly. And also these hammered aluminum pieces are very common. You can find them at lots of thrift stores and antique malls. And the result is elegant and romantic, and it screams fall. It's got that traditional fall color scheme. I love the print, and I love this handmade, hand-etched ceramic piece. The print is very elegant and now, but also has a vintage vibe to it with that gold and orange frame. There's a close-up of that covered bridge on that piece. It was done really well. Covered bridges just scream fall to me. You see there's black-eyed Susans and mums and roses and rose hips on there. It's great. And here you see I have to use a vintage scarf to display it for my own use, because if I put that tablecloth on my table all the time, my cats would just jump on it and rip it down and try to eat it.
Case in point, this little guy who has to be involved in anything that I'm doing. If you have cats, you know they have to be the center of attention when you're trying to accomplish something that doesn't involve them. And anytime there's crinkling or rustling of paper or fabric, they're there. But he's cute, so I guess I'll keep him. And he matches. Next, let's check out how I decorated the rest of my house for Halloween and fall. Hopefully you'll get some inspiration for how to use some of your own vintage finds. Here in this dynamic display, you'll see your eye moves around a lot, and that's due to the different sizes and shapes and colors of all of the items. I started with tall and skinny on one side and slowly kind of worked my way over to shorter and more squat on the other. And I used different finishes and different colors, different shapes to create that movement. That pumpkin I made in a glass blowing class at a local glass blower, and I recommend doing that if you love glass or crafting. It's very satisfying. I'm loving the warmth of amber glass, and right now it's still readily available and inexpensive. So I purchased these goblets for about 50 cents a piece at a thrift store, and these Ellie Smith's salt and pepper shakers, and also the little Fire King bowls for just a few dollars a piece. I'm adding them in with my blue and white dishes to help bring some warmth to my china and my place settings. And that's a neat bowl that has like a peach luster to it that I thought would look nice too this fall. And these trees are actually going to be a part of an upcoming DIY for Christmas and winter. And here's another example of how I'm starting to add warmth and warmer pieces in with my blue and white pieces. I painted a printer drawer orange and put some fall floral on it just to add some height. This is some of my collection of vintage glass. I was displaying mostly blues and greens together, and then I added in some amber pieces, and I just love how warm and inviting it makes it. I love that it's a little bit different. So make sure while you're displaying your pieces that you don't just play around with shape, also play around with color and try different colors or unusual color combinations. You might find something that you really like. Also, always on the lookout for pottery, and it's a great thing to display for fall. It's generally earthy and warm and inviting. Artwork is another thing you can find for fairly inexpensive while you're out. If you find something that speaks to you, make sure you snag it up. You'll have a unique piece and you'll probably get a really great deal on it. This swung glass vase in the bittersweet color wave is my prized glass piece. Swung glass vases are skyrocketing in value right now, so if you find any for cheap, make sure you pick them up. This is a Todd McFarlane Headless Horseman figurine. I've had him for quite some time. His sword is broken and he's supposed to be carrying his head, and I have no idea where that is, but it was Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman, so I love that. This cabinet, the bottom of it was completely ruined and moldy, so I painted the bottom, kept the top with the original finish. I just used some Howard's Feed and Wax on it and buffed it out, and it came out great. I use it as a liquor cabinet basically. So in keeping with that theme, I used some of these witchy bottles that I had created in another one of my videos, and also some witch hats that I created, and some liquor bottles that I thought had just cool Halloween like graphics on them. And that bottle that says Noble Creature is from a local brewery in Youngstown, Ohio. If you're ever in town, I highly recommend stopping by there. They have great beer. And I would appreciate it if you would just pretend like you did not see all the dust that was up on top of there. I did not notice that. I'm short and I forget about those high places. Not really too sure what's going on with my fireplace. It's kind of a work in progress. This painting I thrifted for under $35. It makes a big statement for not a lot of money, and I just have some little kitschy stuff on display here on top of this desk. Floral is another great thing to be on the lookout for, and you just want to make sure when you display it that you protect it from the elements. This is between my front door and the storm door, but they make really great pieces to decorate with. I love this one. It's vibrant and fall-ish and vintage. And I'll share with you a couple of little thrift hauls, show you some stuff that I found for fall, but also some things that are going to be in upcoming videos for upcoming projects. Hey guys, I just got home from a fun thrifting trip. I had a lot of success today.
So it was a good day. I went to Goodwill, St. Vincent de Paul in my area. And at St. Vincent de Paul, certain tags, colors are 99 cents for the week. So I found I was red this week. So I found a lot of red tags that were 99 cents. And I created some projects for myself, but that's great because then I'll share them with you. So I'll show you what I got in my car, just a sneak peek, and then we'll go through it. So this was originally only $7.99, which was still a steal, but I got it for 99 cents. And it's actually a little handmade wine cart, bar cart. And then I got this ficus tree. That was originally $35. I got that for 99 cents, so that was an awesome deal. And then back there, I got a whole bunch of bagged up stuff and an awesome picture that I'm going to put up in my kitchen. So bring it all in, unload it, and share.
I just wanted to also share this picture of this East Lake accent chair. Has its original upholstery. It's so shabby and worn and cool. I just wanted to share that. I never see them with the original upholstery on them. So this is my little thrift haul that I wanted to share with you. Here's this print that I had in the back of my car. It's fall, it's elegant, it's vintage, it has that floral print look to it that everyone is loving right now. I paid $10.99 for it, which was a steal. It's large. As you can tell, it's as tall as my table. It's going to replace that poster that I have hanging up for fall. I'll put it up for fall. Don't be afraid to change out your artwork, mix things up, put some things away, and put new things out for the different seasons. I got some table linens and other linens for a great deal. This was originally $4.99. I only paid 99 cents because once again it was a red tag. This is like a nice soft ivory color, and I'm either going to use it or I might use it for some projects coming up here, but it's really pretty. I'm thinking it was probably like 70s. Whoa, that's wow. Oh, sorry about that camera work there. Anyway, I got a white flat king size sheet for 99 cents, which I'm going to use to make a ghost and hang on a trellis that I have outside. I'll show that in another video. And I got this cute little baby blanket with that popcorn stitch in the middle. I'm going to use that to put around either that finished ficus tree that you saw in my car or around maybe a Christmas tree. Baby blankets are great for that. If you have a tree in a basket or a tree that has a stand like a Christmas tree, a little baby blanket wrapped around there is great. And I only paid 99 cents for that. Up next are a grouping of men's ties. I'm so inspired by the colors and patterns of men's ties. They're so bold and interesting. And ties at St. Vinny's were 99 cents a piece. So I picked out some that were coordinating. I'm going to use some, I think, to cover over some pumpkins that I had that have burlap on them. I'll probably show that in an upcoming video. And then I'll just use this material for other projects and other things. It's so easy to cut them up and use it, and you've got this gorgeous material for really cheap. And these are little salt cellars. They were 3 for 99 cents. And those are the bases for those little Christmas trees that you saw in my china cabinet. Those will be used in an upcoming video as well. I'll be crafting with those. Also, you can just put them out at people's places when you're having dinner, and they can have like their own little salt or spices. This is a bag of Monopoly pieces of money, obviously, but I had an idea to use the little houses and hotels in diorama Christmas ornaments. I'm not sure what I'll do with the money, but I'll think of something for that too. I only paid 99 cents for it. And then I bought these Fire King bowls you saw. Those were 99 cents for 4 of them. And they're just a good addition to a tablescape. I mean, you always need a little dish for something, butter or condiments or a little snacks. And they'll add some warmth to my blue and white dishes. This I got for 99 cents as well. It's a nice little, I think it was made, yeah, in the 90s, 1996. It's got like that 90s color wave. It's small. I can ship that pretty easily. I'll be selling that on eBay, so keep a lookout for that if you're interested. I always try to pick up cute needlework when I find it. And this little Lefton Angel, I paid $1.99. This comes in a set of either 3 or 4 initially. The sets sell for pretty good, but I can expect to get probably about $20 for her. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep her or if I'm going to put her up on eBay. She's in really nice shape. Keep an eye out for Lefton figurines. Some of them sell really well. And the next thing in this bag, I'm letting the cat out of the bag. Whew. Okay. This light fixture is everything. It's got that starburst and the brass. It's great. This was originally $12. I paid 99 cents for it. I'm going to be taking it apart and using it in at least one, if not more projects. Various pieces, parts to it. But man, that is that lovely vintage brass mid-century look. Love it. And you can see I used this on top of my china cabinet when I was decorating. It's got orange and green splatter glaze. I am a sucker for the splatter glaze. It's a studio piece or something that someone just did at a ceramics class, but I just love that look on that. So I cleaned it up really nice, and I'm keeping that for myself. And I want to make a spell book. I'm inspired by all the spell books that I see people have made, and I thought this was cool because the inside, it's about the Dark Ages, and it's got these like funky, moody, weird pictures inside. And also the outside of the book is really pretty. And I know people like to decorate with books now without the covers on, so be on the lookout for some nice looking books while you're out and about. You can get books for so cheap. And I tacked this on at the end. This was another day, just a few things that I picked up. This little art pottery piece. I believe this is an Ohio artist, but I'm not 100% sure. It's so hard to read the signatures on art pottery for some reason. So I'll have to look that up. But it's got that blue and brown kind of theme that I'm going for. And it's a nice little size, perfect for sugar or tea, whatever you want. I'm going to be reselling this little guy. He's so cute. He's Mr. Christmas, which is a great brand to resell. I paid $2 for him. He's a musical ornament. I made sure that the music works and he spins around. And I could expect to get about $20 to $25 for him. So that was a nice score. Anything that has Mr. Christmas, make sure you look up what they're worth because you can resell those. Make some moolah. And I'm sentimental for this style of angel because my mom has some really large ones that were a gift to her back in like the late 70s, early 80s, and she's put them out for Christmas, since I was little. And I just love them. They're that mixed brass and copper, kind of mid-century 70s look, and they just look really great mixed in with your Christmas decor. So I'll be using those when I decorate this year. So all in all, a nice little haul there. And then these are just a few pictures of the amber glass that I thrifted as well.
I shared with you some pictures from a recent walking tour that I took at the Glendale Cemetery in Akron, Ohio. Shout out to the West Hill neighborhood and their Wonderfest that they just had for the first time this year. It was great. A lot of local artists and musicians and people that are interested in his history and in establishing a rural community in that neighborhood. It was fantastic. But the Glendale Cemetery is very moody and spooky, and it's full of history, and I really recommend checking out your local historical society, see if they offer a walking tour of a local cemetery or if they offer any spooky evening ghost tours in your area. It's a great way to connect with your community and also check out some local history with a little bit of a flair. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot and helps me to keep being able to make more content. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more content like this. Also, more thrift finds, thrift flips, DIYs, and recipes.